There's a four-way tie for first and a four-way tie for fifth as we approach the end of week 3, and it's time to see if any teams can break the mold in today's games. And earlier, LCS royalty strolled into the studios as Freaks, Dogs, Puns showed up to the day's festivities. We'll see if Optic Gaming could put on a good show for him as they have a tough task at the top of the day. Let's pull up the schedule, and we see Optic playing in Game 1 versus Echo Fox, with TSM facing off against 100 Thieves after that, and Clutch Gaming versus Cloud9 later on in the day. Hello, everyone. I'm James Ash Patterson here with Mark Zimmerman and Joshua Jat Leesman. Our first game of the day has Optic Gaming challenging Echo Fox, and Coach Zabutin shared his views on who's the carry on Optic.
When you're thinking the game, you're thinking the game as a team and not like, let's make PoE carry or let's Hero carry. Because, for instance, if Zig is well in his game or if Acadian gets a lead, the only win we got was literally Acadian playing a carry champion with Kha'Zix. So I think everybody can like help the team the way he wants, and it's more about the team synergy than like just letting PoE and praying for him to carry or letting Hero on a hyper carry and waiting him. Because in the long run, the team will not improve. So I'd rather like help everybody and allow everybody to have the chance to carry the game. But I think Arrow is really good at team fighting, and it helps us when we have from behind. So it's just about being full confident in the pick they want to take in a draft. You'd say, I don't know, I want to play Orianna. I'm not discussing. I just give Orianna because I know he's good, and that's it. So I want the guys to be really aware of what they can do and what they can't do. And the second thing is like being smart about the pick they want, about being ahead of the meta, and trying a lot of things in scrims and trying to have as much feedback as we can from other regions. When I was a caster, I always wore bow ties because I think it's like, I would say a little bit fancier than just a tie. And I went to the US and like people started offering me bow ties. So I have a kind of a collection of them. And I think it's really good because I'm new. Everybody is like known, so I wanted to make my thing, and I think bow tie is pretty good. It doesn't annoy anyone, and it makes me kind of special, at least like the way I look, and it doesn't change the way I work with the guys. So at the end of the day, it's just like win-win situation. And if it amuses the people, it's even better. And if you guys have any, I don't know, feedback or advice, or you want me to like have fancier one, just say me on Twitter, and I will try to buy them and show them on stage.
Bigger bow tie. Only feedback. I want a big bow tie. Really stand out.
To cover his entire shoulder span.
But in actuality, talking there about identifying the carry within the game. So whereas we've talked about, you know, looking at the individual players and maybe trying to pinpoint a carry, for at least the organization and the team themselves, they're less concerned with saying Power of Evil will always be our way of winning. Instead, let's see who's our way of winning in this game and play to that strength. Yeah,
I know he said kind of anyone can be a carry, whoever's popping off, but he also was like, it's not about whether it's Power, Evil, or Arrow. It's probably Power, Evil, or Arrow in most of their games when you're looking at the way this roster lines up and the way these guys have been playing.
Also, offhandedly mentioned that their only win came off of Acadian playing a carry champion.
With Zig on a tank.
Well, right, and so I think that's the thing is, like, you can still play to your team strengths. Like, we always considered Acadian a better carry player. So when they get their win on Kha'Zix, it's not like, oh, wow, that really shocked me. And Zig was on a tank. And, like, yeah, that's actually what I think a lot of us would say would be the ideal team for them.
Right, you quickly mentioned it there, though. If Acadian is to jump on that carry champion, you're looking for the tankiness elsewhere, that, you know, that role or that responsibility is going to fall on Zig. And this is where I want to land on our kind of featured mismatch of the day, if you will. Huni versus Zig here in the top lane, game 1.
And we were kind of mentioning how we think Zig has been underperforming yesterday. And when we see these stats, these are a little
doesn't get any
brutal.
prettier.
Yeah, no. 282 damage per minute. I know that is somewhat champion specific, but he's played Urgot games and he's played a carry game on top of that Malka game. He just hasn't been able to get involved, is falling behind even in winning matchups, like when he had Gnar into Gangplank. Whereas you compare that to a guy like Huni, who even when he falls behind is finding a huge impact in these games.
I think that's the big thing to point out is it's not like he's kind of getting shafted in the draft or anything. He is getting counter-picking. They're saying, well, what do you want to play? As you heard Zabutin saying, that is kind of their philosophy, and he's still coming up very short. So with how Huni is just taking GP blind all the time, it's going to be really tough for Zig to actually punish that.
He's got his work cut out for him today. I want to take a look at the rest of the Echo Fox roster, who will be on blue side this time around. Obviously, Huni, big carry for them, but Dardoch, Phoenix, these are two guys who have been performing to the nth degree in some cases behind Huni.
And it's a very strange loss that came off the back of like one bad call. And if we've listened to Huni's audio a couple times, you know that's probably Huni forcing that one down. So it's going to be hard to see, or it's going to be pretty easy, I think, to bounce back for them just because it was a game that was going so well for them once they started turning the corner.
Yeah, there was the solo kill that happened Tahuni in the top lane, but he's had multiple games where he's fallen behind in laning phase, and they've been able to pull it back. A really interesting team to monitor now for Echo Foxes. Yes, this was the bad decision Mark was talking about right here in this fight where they ended up losing it to the Blood Boy Callista, but there were a few decisions in their 2 games in week 2 that they both won that if they go the other way, they would lose those games. So even though Echo Fox has been very positive and looks like they're all getting along very well, I do wonder if they're raising the red flags about now having 3 games in a row where they've had a relatively large deficit, because they need to find a way to stop that from happening.
Yeah, 3 games in a row they've been behind, but Fox have shown that they can win from a goal deficit before. And in today's mic check, we listen in to their huge comeback win over TSM last week.
How's my mic?
Yep.
How's my mic? Is my mic muted?
I can hear you, Mike.
Okay, good.
Your mic is not muted.
Oh, they're huddling.
They're huddling.
We don't huddle because our personalities are
I mean,
bad, you know?
We can't be that close to each other or we're gonna fist fight.
You guys see the camera, guys? They're like, oh, huddle, huddle, huddle. Let's go, let's go. What do you want, Mike? What do you think?
Jarvan.
Jarvan would be cool.
Jarvan?
Yeah.
Whatever
if
coach
you-
wants,
yeah.
I think Jarvan is good too.
Let me hear it.
Yeah.
For the king. For the king.
I think.
Sorry, that was the
If
weak
they
one.
beat-
I have TP. I have TP on.
I'm looking at Braum, okay?
There's Zach.
Oh, they're
there's
fast.
Zach.
I just have no flash.
I'm here first.
I just have no flash. I just have no flash.
Zach.
I have stopwatch.
I'm pretty low.
I'm trying to
almost
stop.
here.
No,
TP.
I have passive. Can we TP?
I have TP.
Yeah, they have TP. Maybe they can use it, but.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Careful.
Yep. Can you block? Can you block?
That's solely TP. I'm looking at backline. Okay, I'm jumping out. I'm 1 HP. Twist is stacked. Nice.
Zach,
We
Zach,
went. Oh, look,
you guys
so no flash.
Zach's dead. Zach's dead.
Nice.
Keep going. Get out.
I'm trolling. My bad. I think we can.
It's 3v3. They're low.
I'm pretty low. Okay. I think you just back now. Just back now. It doesn't do anything. I need no flash. I'm gonna flash kill. Okay. Let's go. Ezreal.
Oh.
Johnny.
Sorry.
No, back. Nice.
Get him.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
good job.
Man.
Take and hip. You have 15 seconds.
I'm so boosted.
That's fine.
Sorry.
Back on. Mouse. Look at Mouse hard. I'm 1 HP. Mouse is dead. Vlad. And J4. Nice.
I'm dead.
Look at 80.
Slowly.
Okay, I'm dead. Can you guys protect my passive?
I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I think we can.
Yeah.
Mark. Go for more. Go. I can ulti him out.
You can get it a little lower.
Ulti more. Ult it. Go.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna look for jump.
Okay. DP ulti's up.
Right here. Look. Front line, just front.
Just hit front.
Front. Nice. Go mid, guys. Ezreal, no E. Look at this. Ezreal, no flash.
Push him in.
Nice. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Hell yeah.
Good, guys.
Let's go.
This is Echo Fox.
Undefeated but barely so, they sweep another weekend and take down TSM.
Thoughts on the comms there?
It was interesting because they were communicating very well on target selection and these kinds of things, but like when you compare it to someone like Afro's communication, it did feel like there was less setup and like second level communication about like prediction of what's going to happen.
I still thought they were pretty clean comms.
Absolutely.
Like they have a lot of faith in each other to execute in the moment. So it seems like all they're doing is like, I'm going to look for it here, and then everyone's ready. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, let's take a look at the standings as we pull them up. Of course, we just saw the comeback win for Echo Fox over TSM, but losing yesterday means we've got 4 teams tied at first. That's 100 Thieves, Cloud9, Echo Fox, and Team Liquid, while Optic Gaming, Golden Guardians are just outside that 4-way tie for 5th. Last week on the countdown, we looked at the tie for first. So this time, I want to take a look at that middle pack. We've got Clutch Gaming, CLG, TSM, and FlyQuest. Asking you guys, which of these teams do you think could maybe make that jump and start being clumped with the 4 at the top?
Well, I think specifically talking about how they stack up right now, I think Jad and I agree that the #1 team out of that clump is TSM. While they have had a bit of a rough start, these past 2 weeks have been a massive improvement. Even in their loss versus Echo Fox, you saw that they were very proactive. They had a big early game lead. Yesterday, they were able to actually grab the win off that proactivity. Mike Young looking much better.
And we basically power ranked these teams. We did it blind and ended up having the same power rankings, kind of looking at the quality of wins as well as the quality of losses, so to speak. TSM had that impressive looking game against Echo Fox until the end, and it looks like they're trending in the right direction, but a lot will still be shown by their pretty difficult strength of schedule in the next 4.
Oh, very much so. Moving right along, let's talk about Clutch Gaming. This roster, where do they land?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's tricky because they have looked pretty good in their wins and pretty good in their losses as well, but still that level of unsureness within the team. Lyra being so inconsistent, Apollo and Hakuho having glimpses of brilliance, but doesn't feel like they have had that really solid game yet. Yesterday was a little bit worrying because they were ahead of 100 Thieves by so much and just couldn't continue to execute on their split push.
And just not super quality wins. They did beat Golden Guardians and CLG pretty convincingly, but those are not really the top tier teams, and so that their strength of wins are not great.
CLG, FlyQuest remaining. Who slots in next?
Yeah, so we have COG next on this one. It's close between them and FlyQuest because COG has looked rather questionable, if we're being completely honest, in most of their games, even their victory yesterday, who he fell behind early, and they kind of clutched it out in team fights.
Yeah, Golden Guardians' victory, much the same way. It was very, very throwy by the other team.
All right, and that leaves FlyQuest then in that last position of the teams tied for 5th.
I think the thing that concerns us is just the roster situation. They've been swapping people in and out. We haven't seen them with their actual intended roster, and as a result, it doesn't feel like they have a clear play style, where even CLG were like, well, you know, Darshan is playing fantastic. They have something to build off there. We're not sure the direction of this team at all.
Yeah, I'm personally perplexed by the Shrimp substitution. I understand why they may have wanted to use him as an import jungler, but I thought Onda was one of their best performing players and one of their most hyped offseason players as a new rookie. So I hope to see Onda back in there.
All right, we just worked through the teams one by one, but I want to throw it up there for some visual representation. The power rankings of this pack tied for 5th. As you can see here, Mark has listed TSM, Clutch Gaming, Counterlogic, and FlyQuest. Jat, on the other hand, did not understand the purpose.
No, he understood it perfectly fine.
No, but in actuality, guys, they did match up. I will reconfirm what Jat said. We actually had them power rank them blind, then compared them. They actually aligned on their power rank.
You guys can't do that to COG.
Yeah.
You're hurting the team.
So to be fair, this is also currently where we think they stand. I think Jad and I are optimistic that the CLG making, because they were 7th, they're one spot away from making playoffs, and I really think it is within the realm of possibility that they reach that. But as of right now, Clutch has looked better.
Right. If I were to ask you to power rank week 9, that might look different, right? Okay. All right. Well, now it's time once again to hand it over to the analyst on my far left, your far right. That is Jat. Time for some Jat stats.
Boom.
What do you got for us today?
I think we have a scorecard just to make sure we know how
this works.
Right. What is that? 100%?
Yeah.
We don't need
5
that.
stats. I think you guys have a better chance today because I know Mark said he was going to look up a bunch of stats last night. First question. So this NALCS player has a higher DPM, obviously, than any other player in NA, but also any EU LCS Pro or LCK Pro. Who is this player?
Highest DPM, longest games.
I'm going to go Cody Sun. He had really crazy damage per minute and damage percent.
Who's played Corki already?
I mean, only really Pobel's, but they have fast games.
They do have fast games. That's not going to work. Who has long games?
You have
Optic, possible. Oh, Optic. Okay, let's go Power of Evil.
Cody Sun.
Guys, I'm on the board.
Jat stat.
No! I'm not eating a bagel today.
Yeah, I knew he was going to get this one because we actually randomly talked about Cody Sun earlier. Question number 2. Player with the best gold difference at 10 and CSD difference at 10 in North America. Who is this player?
So I know that there haven't been a ton of super impressive CSDs in the bot lane, so 80 carries are out.
Now, top laner, right?
Gold
It's got to be a top laner
CSD.
that's hard smashing. Who's a top laner that's hard smashing?
Oh, I feel like Darshan's been playing well.
Maybe it is Darshan. I would actually be on board for that.
I might...
Oh, because he had the Vlad game where he got really far ahead, right? You know, like he's got a decent number of games. Even in their losses, they have those early leads. I could see a...
The other thing would be mids. Phoenix has been one of the more impressive laning mids. I'd lean towards Phoenix if we're looking at mids.
Okay, lock it in.
I like the Darshan. I like the Darshan.
I'll go
gut
Phoenix
check.
so we split it up.
Gut check on that.
Rookie of the split,
Mike
Young.
What?
Yeah, man.
In the
Highest
jungle?
gold at 10 and CSD at 10. It counts. It's still a
Shyvana.
stat.
The Shyvana
It's still
game.
a stat. Okay, so...
Literally the last person I would have
Yeah, I want to see if we start doing
last.
multiple choice on these. We'll ask Twitter if that makes it better. But this is the final question. We're going to answer this one after the break.
Oh, boy.
In 2018, across NA, EU, LPL, LCK, LMS, CBLOL, and TCL, shout out to Games of Legends for tracking all of those leagues. This champion is 1-17. That's a 5.6% pro game 2018 win rate.
I hope it's Zillion, but as he said, we're going to answer after the break. So we're going to take a moment. We're going to step away. When we come back, Mark and I will get some help with Jat's third stat. We share some of our overreactions, and we go over the win conditions for Game 1. Don't touch that browser.
Now let the hunt begin. Yeah. 7,000 souls scared and daunted, such a tale of woe. Not too long ago, this village was a golden scene of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our glory to live forever. Yeah, bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer. Yeah. I am the light bringer. Now listen, fellow warriors, I ask you, should my campaign come to an end? There's way more to avenge. Whoa! 50 million souls living in this realm without much hope. Not too long ago, this kingdom was a golden state of hope. Yeah! Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our glory to live forever. Yeah, bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer.
Welcome back. When we went to break, Jat hit us with his third stat. The question was, in 2018 across a whole bunch of regions, this champion was 1 in 17. That's a 5.6% win rate. We've been struggling this one, so we decided to ask for a little help this time around. So we are going to phone a friend. So here we go. Hello. Freak?
Hello, Dash. Hi. Yes.
Hi.
Put it on speaker.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Put the banana on
speaker. Hello, Freak?
I'm going to put you on speaker. Hold on 1 second. here.
Yeah, speaker. Good idea. Okay, here.
I got Zyrene here with me.
All right, you're on speaker. You can. Zyrene, hey, Zyrene, hey, what's going on?
Freak.
I've got Mark here.
Mark, okay.
Hello.
And
We're struggling with the question. We're struggling with the question.
What's the question?
Hey, I know you guys love champ selects. You're probably big on the champ select stats. Across all of the different regions, what champion is 1 in 17?
1 in 17.
5.6% win rate.
You got 15 seconds.
Yeah, like roughly 15.
I actually
Let's
know
go.
this one, so I'm going to let him steal on it.
So I knew the first two ones. Why couldn't you phone me them? But I'm thinking either Cassiopeia or Kled, because I feel like they're not that common, but I'm kind of thinking like, only 16 picks overall.
Cassio could be.
I'm gonna go with Cassiopeia.
It's won the Cassio game.
Freak, how do you know?
I didn't know it for sure at 117, but I saw 1 in 14. Like I saw a discussion on
and you're
Twitter.
assuming.
So then tell us.
What is it?
All right, it's Mike Young's first champion.
Shyvana.
Shyvana.
Freak is a phone a friend.
Guys, thank you so much. Yes.
There you go.
I love you, Freak.
100% by the way in Jat stats now.
Hey, I'm taking you out speaker.
Don't
taking you out speaker. Just want to wish you guys a great, great cast today.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you later. Thanks for your help.
Oh yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yep.
Man.
Wow.
All right.
So Shyvana.
Yeah, now we're getting a bunch
Only
of
one
Shyvana
win.
low
That win is
likes.
in the
Let's
LCK.
Just a bunch of
So she is great at jumping away from a losing fight. I'll give her that.
Well, I was going to say, why do you think it is that champion is 1 in 17? That's even been played that much if the win rate is that bad.
There's definitely some bad luck. The champion was super dominant in solo queue, but you can't do anything when you're behind.
Gotcha.
And also very early on, it's not that great of a fallback pattern. Like someone catches you in the jungle, they just kill you. People have, I think, definitely slowed down and they're picking up that champion.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. All right, that's enough with the numbers. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum and make some statements off of gut feeling alone. In some overreactions, Mark is really great at these. So, first up, I'll re-explain the segment. I throw out a statement, and you guys tell me whether or not it's a blatant overreaction or not. So we're going to kick this one off with a fun one. CLG, following their win yesterday, are back, baby.
Overreaction. Blatant overreaction.
CLG is not back at all.
There you go.
Do not believe in CLG. And honestly, like, it wasn't that good of a win against Echo Fox. Yes, Echo Fox was undefeated. Huhi had very questionable early laning abilities. Reignover didn't do much other than maintain Drakes. The only promising thing would be Stixxay and Biofrost not falling behind in laning phase, but that's because Adrian was teleporting top lane. That lane was gifted to them, so still a lot of work for COD to do.
Yeah, they took an early game comp, kind of snowballed with it, then fell behind and through, and then the other team threw back in a Elder Dragon.
Overreaction.
So a bit of an overreaction on that one?
Yes,
all right, moving right along. C9's bot lane has been getting a lot of praise recently, in the wake of the Team Liquid discussion and the best in the West discussion for the new TSM bot lane. I'm going to go ahead and make the definitive statement, though, that the C9 bot lane is overrated. In other words, they are not definitively the best bot lane in the West.
I will agree. I do think that universally stating them as the best team or bot lane right now is an overstatement. They haven't played Team Liquid's bot lane. Team Liquid has great team synergy, so obviously that kind of amps up the bot lane. But Doublelift is playing with some ridiculous, like 16 KDA right now. And while Sneaky and Smoothie do play a very different style, they're much more team focused, I have a hard time giving them overall the best bot lane.
It's not a crazy statement, but it would be an overreaction to say definitively.
Right.
If you are saying that they're the best in the league, you can say that right now.
I think you can argue it.
It's a defendable point.
It's a very defendable point, but to say that it's not even a discussion after this long, no. But they're playing great.
All right, here's another fun one. Pobelter is the new NA Faker.
Faker has lost 5 in a row.
Faker has lost 5 in a row. So by all accounts, then High is the new NA Faker.
So Pobelter's been playing great, especially his game yesterday. He has, I believe, the highest CS per minute, as well as all NA mid laners, all players in North America. He's been crushing, but Faker is in a league of his own, and I think Pobelter's just now entering that conversation of competing with the best mids in NA.
Okay. Yeah, he's always been top tier, obviously, but he's never been definitively the best. Right now is when he's probably making one of his best cases he's ever made, but once again, to be Faker means it's unquestionable.
Yeah. Interestingly
overreaction.
Okay, overreaction, slight overreaction. Whenever you compare anyone to Faker, it's an overreaction.
Probably.
I feel. Now, yesterday, Febivin and Power of Evil actually chimed in with their own power rankings on the NALCS Lounge. Let's take a look.
All right, so if I had to put you guys on the spot to make a mid lane tier list for me, obviously you put yourselves at #1 because you're the greatest. But who's after you then? Who would be your next 3? Who would you put in the top besides yourselves?
Probably, I think Pobelter's the best.
Okay.
After that, I think Jensen. And probably Bjergsen after. But it's really hard to say because I've played players. For example, I haven't played against Power of Evil at all, in scrims.
Yeah, we didn't face each other.
So it's like, it's really hard. So I'm just rating the players I face.
Yeah. So what's your top 3?
I feel like I would probably say literally the same, but I would add. So I would say Pobelter, Jensen, Bjergsen. But I would say, I'm not sure, but I feel like Phoenix did quite good as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm not sure how I would rate him. Like, I feel like he deserved to kind of be like the third as well, like maybe with Bjergsen right now.
Phoenix is Azir. Come on. He's winning on other champions. He had a great Ryze game, had a great Cassio game. He's more than just an Azir one-trick, guys. Even they were...
Forever the Phoenix apologists. I mean, to be honest, he has been playing very well, but that's an interesting list and not, from very strong fellow mid laners.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things that Pobelter's come into this year with, is that kind of chip on his shoulder to show that he can be the best. And you can see within the pro community of the other mid laners, he's got that respect. Now it's just a matter of getting the community to catch up to that level and also to maintain the level of performance he's shown so far.
4 minutes ahead of game time. Let's go ahead and take a look at your predictions for the day. And if I recall correctly, there's no interesting discussion to be had here. The both of you aligned today. So no matter what, no matter how right or how wrong you guys are, you will remain tied at the end of today at 16-9 for your season totals. I want to see more dissension.
Sorry, but I think the only point that was really close between us was probably the TSM 100 Thieves game.
Yeah, okay.
And, I still think this one's really, really close, but TSM has been looking a lot better and should have won that Echo Fox game, who is arguably the best team in the league. So I think they are very strongly trending up.
Yeah, and I think that's a super close game. Like the way 100 Thieves has won their games has been through very close games, and TSM hasn't necessarily blown people out. So it's going to be a big test for them to see if they can kind of keep up with Aftermove shot calling. I was really back and forth on that one. And I was really back and forth on CLG winning as well.
Were you?
Because I
I
doubt them a lot
Yeah,
and their ability to win.
But it does feel like a day where the majority of the matches, to some degree, feel lopsided, right? Where there is an expected winner for a fair amount of them. We called out Game 2 as being one that feels a little bit more like a coin toss. Some people might point to Game 4, Clutch Gaming versus C9 as being competitive, but the way C9 looks, it still would probably be favored towards them.
Yeah, they're absolutely smashing all their competition. They had a lead versus Echo Fox. We know Echo Fox is really good, so they bounce back. But other than that, it feels like they kind of blow people up. It does match up pretty interestingly in terms of young, native NA top laners, strong import mid laners, and then good bot lane. So it is a very similar matchup, but it does feel like just C9 is generally better across the board.
And we're 5 games in, going on 6. I think Mark and I now have a little bit more to work off of, so I think that's why we accidentally came to a consensus. First day out of 6 that we've had exactly the same predictions.
I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are having secret meetings.
I've only been above 60% win rate like one day.
Time for some win conditions. Let's reframe or refocus here on Game 1. Echo Fox versus Optic Gaming. Chat, you were late to work today, so I'm going to give you the tough task of defending Optic. But before you go, Mark laid out for me, how does Echo Fox come away with the victory here?
Holo. You go with Huni in the top lane. He is going to be the focus a little bit, and I think it's a focus in a weird way because he's played a lot of GP against some very competent opponents and is fallen behind. Here against Zig, he has not shown the ability to punish any pick even with counter pick, so give Huni whatever he wants. If he wants counter pick to smash Zig, fine. If he wants scaling to take it late, great, and then focus more on your bot lane.
Chat, what's the go-to in the playbook against Holo?
It's tank top and carry jungle, right? And we talked to Zabutoon right at the beginning of NALCS Countdown, and he did say, well, the only game we did win was when Acadian was on a carry, but I also think a core part of that was having Zig on a tank where he could lose lane gracefully. He hasn't shown his ability to get counterpick and win. That's not going to happen against Huni, so you neutralize that as much as possible and try and turn it into a team fighting game.
All right, all eyes are on that mismatch in the top lane, but we've got Echo Fox looking to recover from their first loss yesterday up against Optic Gaming. Time now to throw it out to the casters to get us into the games. Enjoy.